Tēnā koutou katoa, I acknowledge the hapu of Otako and Pukateraki as the mana whenua of this rohe. I bid thanks and welcome to all the members of the watching public, staff, the media and colleagues. Nau mai, haere mai, to this, the Dunedin City Council Community and Culture Committee meeting for today, Tuesday, May 10th. There are no public forum speakers, so we're just going straight through to apologies. Item 2, we have an apology from Councillor Hall as well as an apology from Councillor Vandervis. Are there any other apologies? So I'll move, and thank you Councillor Walker for seconding. I'll move that the committee accepts the apology received from Councillors Hall and Vandervis. We can put it, all those in favour? Aye. Is against? Abstentions? Thank you, the motion is carried. Confirmation of agenda, item number 3. I'll move that the committee confirms the agenda with the deletion of item 9, funding waste minimisation grants, noting that this will be considered as part of the annual plan deliberations. So for seconder and Councillor Lord, thank you very much. All those in favour, please say aye or raise your hand. Thank you, councillors, colleagues on Zoom. Those against, any abstentions? Motion carried. Thank you. So we come now to declarations of interest. Have there been any changes since yesterday? Okay, so I'm going to move that the committee notes the elected members' interest register and confirms the proposed management plan for elected members' interests. All those in favour, please raise your hands or say aye. Thank you. Those against, and there's no abstentions, I note. Oh, sorry. Councillor Barker, thank you. Sorry, thank you. The motion is carried. Thank you. Item number 5, confirmation of the minutes. 5.1, Community and Culture Committee meeting of 5th of April. I'm happy to move, and thank you, Councillor Gary, for seconding that the committee confirms the minutes of the Community and Culture Committee meeting held on 5th of April as a correct record. All those in favour? Those against? Any abstentions? Thank you. That is the motion carried. And we move now to Part A, reports. Item number 6, actions from resolutions of Community and Culture Committee meetings. Page 21 of your order papers. And we have the Community and Culture Public Open Actions as at May 2022. So we have the General Manager of Community Services, Mr. Pickford, and Mana Houtu, the General Manager, Maori Partnerships and Policy, Jeanette Wikaira, who can speak to this report, please.
Happy to take any questions.
Okay. Are there any questions? Councillor Gary?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, on to start. Thank you, Madam Chair. It was just the third item, which is about Taroni Reserve refurbishment, and I wondered if anyone had a time frame on the completion of the sculpture or the installation of the sculpture.
Warmed up.
Thank you. Kia ora, Councillor. So there, as I understand, the Te Raone sculptural work is has taken a little bit of time. There isn't at the moment a clear, finish line for this project, but I note that the latest invoices for some of the work to continue on has come through, and those have been accepted. I think the hold-up has been in some of the work that's required to be done, and some of the materials that are required to get this work completed.
And do we know when the overall project will be completed? That may be something beyond what you're familiar with.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and I can find out for you.
That would be really helpful. Thank you, Ms. Mikaira.
Tēnā korua. Are there any other questions? Oh, thank you. Councillor Elder?
Numbers are down for people arriving at them and enjoying them due to COVID and the constraints.
Aroha mai, Councillor Elder, are you referring to the activity reports, or are you on item 6? We're still on item 6.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, hold fire till the right.
I'll put my hand up then.
Kia ora.
Sorry.
Thank you. Are there any other questions relating to item 6? Thank you. Okay, so I'm very happy to move that the committee notes from resolutions of the Community and Culture Committee meetings as per attachment A. Thank you, Councillor Raddick, for seconding. I'm just very happy to just acknowledge that we're keeping on, and just want to acknowledge the members of the public and staff for just coping with all the stuff that we've got going on before and since COVID. And these open actions, our council business as so-called usual, they're just presenting a lot of challenges, and just want to acknowledge the community's patience with us all. So thank kia ora for that. Are there any other speakers? Councillor Gary?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to acknowledge in particular the patience of the community around the Taroni reserve work, which is coming along. COVID's obviously impacted it, but it is wonderful to see that we're at the point we are, and I thank the staff for their efforts in that regard.
If there's no other speakers, I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Abstentions? Thank you. The motion is carried. Move to item 7, Community and Culture Committee Forward Work Programme, page 25 of your order papers. So again, we have Mr. Pickford and Ms. Wikaida to answer questions if there are any. Are there any questions? Councillor Walker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was waiting for Rachel, but I'll leap ahead. Just around the Sims building and the notification that there'll be a progress report in July. Will that be a progress report on remediation, or a progress report stroke update with remediation in there at some point hence?
Long-winded microphone. My anticipation is that there will be a broader project generally, but the work on the remediation won't form a major part. Mostly it will be about the ongoing conversations we've had with the Trust, which have been overwhelmingly positive, the MOU, which we've agreed, and just a broad update about the project.
Tēnā korua, Councillor Raddick.
Yes, just a question about the right words, the Maori Pacifica Innovation Funds. So there is according to the sheet, there's a funding round that will be opened in May, Has that opened already? Or?
Yes, it has opened, Councillor.
Great. And preliminary indications of interest, how do they look?
Well, we worked closely with the Maori and Pacifica community, and we have, I think it was only just earlier last week that the information went out to those communities around the funds. We've had to work quite quickly because we want the funds to get out before the end of this financial year. But we've had some really positive feedback from the community. Yeah, it's been a quick turnaround, but the community is very interested and positive about the work that's taken place.
Are there any other questions? Okay, I'm very happy to move that the committee notes the Community and Culture Committee Forward Work Programme is shown in Attachment A. Thank you, Councillor Staines, for seconding. Again, I'll just reiterate my comments for the previous item, acknowledging the hardships and patience of the community, and acknowledge the efforts of staff to support the community wherever we can in terms of the hardships that we're going to be facing for quite some time. Are there any other speakers to the motion? I could put it. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Abstentions? Thank you. The motion is bringing us to item number 8, Community and Culture Activity Report for the period to 31st of March 2022, page 29 of your order papers. I think this is where you come in, Councillor Elder. Okay, so we have Mr Pickford, Ms Wikaida, Mr McCracken and Ms Glengarry. Oh, and Ms Lanini.
And I just wanted to note in the residents' opinions survey and note that the number of visitors have gone down considerably, but noting the satisfaction with all those places being really high. And I was just wondering what the numbers were now, considering COVID's tail is happening, or is there an increase, or is there a perceived increase of people coming to those places?
It's childproof. Through you, Madam Chair. We're still experiencing a dramatic decrease in visitation. We notice when we have times of school holidays, so there is a bit of a spike, a bit of a jump in visitation, but we're anticipating probably a quiet winter, and fingers and toes crossed for a different operating environment as we move into the summer.
My other question was just around the landing place exhibition with Kai Tahu Works, and I was just wondering what the response to that was from the community, local community. It's a wonderful exhibition.
Kia ora for that. That project, Paimanu Taurakatoi, was a number of years in the making, and a significant milestone for the art gallery in terms of working with the local arts community, with mana whenua, and to do something really ambitious and bold. We had nothing but great feedback from that sort of time. Unfortunately, we were unable to run all of the exciting and wonderful programs that we had planned originally. But that relationship with Paimanu will be an ongoing one. We will do more exhibition work with them, and we have plans to work jointly on a collection of Ngāi Tahu Contemporary Mahi Toi.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Albert. Thank you, Mr. Kraken. Councillor Reddick has questions.
Yes, I'll try with the mask on. I ran a little computation on the numbers, and I see that the large institutions, museum, libraries and art gallery, are tracking at 68, 60 and 47% of their target visitation, which is very good, I think, in the troubled times we've had, and that's only 3/4 of a year. But I'm worried about the other ones, the smaller ones. Toitu is holding up. I was surprised to see it's only 34, but Lanyuan 30 and Ulverston 14% of target. So my conclusion from that is perhaps we could have an entertainment program in the smaller institutions to bring increased visitation. But however, I'm sure you've got lots better ideas than that. Can you elucidate on those, please?
Yes, we recently had a meeting of the Ulverston Management Committee where we were treated to a really long and comprehensive program of events that the manager there has managed to put on at very short notice, I guess, initially. When you look at the institutions, Ulverston, I think of all, is set up as a destination, a paid experience, which has probably more of a constituency in our tourism market. It sits so the work that has happened since 2020 has been to pivot into other ways of working. That's an ongoing process. And so, as I alluded to, we were treated to a long kind of list of dinners, boutique events, weddings. Really, Ulverston is moving into that commercial space. So I note that this is not a financial report, but the finances of Ulverston are relatively healthy as a consequence of all that work.
So are you saying that it's not so much the number of visitors that are making the difference at Ulverston, it's the quality of visitors or the spend per visitor is really up?
I would suggest that's where we've put our energy and efforts.
It's very good. It sounds like a very good plan to me, considering it's, you can only have a small number of visitors. Thank you.
Tēnā korua. Councillor Gary?
Given the slice of domestic visitors that we have, which is more important than in terms of the larger slice than the international sector, this is pre-COVID, I was noticing the really low targets for both Lanyuan and Ulverston in terms of residents. Have you got any comments to make on that, Mr. McCracken?
Only that those performance targets probably haven't been adjusted since the operating environment has changed.
And as we review that, that will be part of it. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Oh, yes, Councillor Aldo.
Hi, just a question. The Toitu Early Settlers Museum is working on a very interactive transport section in the bullnose, and I was just wondering how progress was happening in that space, as I have a number of toddlers who are very, very keen to interact with such a space.
So that work program is tied to the next financial year, so we're going to start on work on that towards the middle of the year.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Right, I'm very happy to move that the committee notes the update reports on the galleries, libraries and museums and aratoi and the community development and events activities. Pacifica, thank you, Councillor Lord. Are there any speakers? Yes, Councillor Barker.
Oh, there we go. No, it's working now. I'd just like to pass on my congratulations to Ulverston. I note they have got a Qualmark Gold Sustainable Tourism Business Award, and this is the ultimate and exceedingly hard to get. So I really pass on my congratulations to the team for achieving this. I've been part of trying to get these Qualmark Golds, and I know how much work's gone into it. This recognises the best sustainable tourism businesses in New Zealand with the delivery of exceptional customer experiences and identifies those businesses leading the way in making New Zealand tourism industry a world-class sustainable visitor destination. I also note that they've achieved a Garden of National Significance for the 4th time, and this is another super hard to achieve award, so very proud of them and congratulations.
Tēnā koe. Councillor Gary?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. And as well as those achievements, I just want to note that Ulverston has been an exemplar of adjusting to the situation we find ourselves in with the global pandemic. And I was surprised to hear Councillor Raddick's question and comments in that they have adjusted in a way of innovating new products, as we heard, and those have been hugely successful and very popular with our local populations. So I commend the management of Ulverston in terms of what they have achieved within a very difficult environment.
Tēnā koe, Councillor. Councillor Elder?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to congratulate all our services, our cultural institutions, the library, Ulverston, the museum, Toi Early Settlers Museum, and the Chinese Gardens. And in particular, I now am going back to a toddler's lens on Dunedin, and I visit these places, and in particular, you know, the art gallery, the Toi Early Settlers, and our own museum have got amazing interactional and play spaces that cater to the children of our city, but also are actually an attraction to the city for domestic tourists. And I just want to congratulate the staff on the work they've done in that space, because to me, having a child interested in interacting and learning from an early age with all our wonderful facilities is just amazing. And it enriches and enlarges their vision and their life and connects them to our city. So I just really want to, going back to all these places with a toddler's lens, I am just so grateful for our city for doing so much amazing work for our toddlers, our primary school and high school aged children. And I also want to congratulate the Art Gallery on its work with Kai Tahu in producing the exhibition, because in fact, again, there is something about our history and our cultural identity, and I believe that for Maori people, seeing their own art reflected back to them in our community is just amazing, and I just think all power to it, and may we keep on going in this direction. So thank you very much, and it's been really, really hard work over COVID, and at times must be really discouraging because the visitor numbers are down. So keep up the good work and keep your vision up. I really love the transport museum idea, because I can see it attracting many people to it, and it's not only children who want to interact with old vehicles. I see many parents and grandparents climbing on them as well. So, yeah, just thanks for all that work and vision.
Tēnā koe. Councillor Raddick.
Yes, I'd just like to reinforce the point that obviously everyone got, that Mr McCracken's ideas are much better than mine, and he has a wonderful plan for each and every one of these institutions that he's looking after, thankfully, and in particular Ulverston, which has such relatively small numbers coming through, but making a very high contribution per head to the running of that institution, and the one thereafter with the lowest numbers being Toitu is under refurbishment and will, as we have heard from Councillor Elder, have a big pickup as a result. So well done. Thank you very much for your efforts, sir.
Tēnā koe, Councillor. Are there any other speakers? I'm going to put the motion. Oh, Councillor. Tēnā koe.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to, not quite in the report, but just single out the work that Mr. Newmarket did with the Public Art Gallery as an educator for 25 years. Having seen him in action with my kids many years ago, I just, when you look at people of his calibre working through our institutions, you know, there's a guy who dedicated a great chunk of his life to the Art Gallery Society, the Art Gallery, and educating our youth, and really ignited quite a few of the arts. But to see the passion that he brought to it every day, along with the staff of the Art Gallery, is just amazing. And so, when I would like to just acknowledge the work of Mr. Newmarket, but also all the other staff that we have working in our institutions, especially those that have been there for many years. Thank you.
Tēnā koe, Councillor. Are there any other speakers? I'm going to put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Any abstentions? Thank you. The motion is carried. Bringing us to the last item, items for consideration by the Chair. Are there any items for consideration by the Chair? There being none, I am very, very happy to declare this meeting closed. Thank you. See you at 1. No, it's publicly advertised as at 1, so we have to have it at 1. Enjoy your break. We'll see you at 1.